Hello class 10 students. I will continue chapter number 7, sound. Last time we did the definitions related to the sound waves and the difference between the sound and light waves. Today I will tell you about the reflection of sound waves. You know children, light is reflected when light wave strikes a boundary surface, then it returns back into the same medium. This is called the reflection of light. Similarly, sound waves also reflect back into the same medium when they strike a hard surface or a boundary of another medium, and this is called reflection of sound waves. And like the light waves, the sound waves also follow the laws of reflection, that the angle of incidence equals to the angle of reflection, and the incident ray, reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in one plane. So the return of sound wave on striking a surface such as a wall, a metal sheet or plywood back into the same medium, that is called the reflection of sound wave. But the reflection of sound waves does not require a smooth and shining surface like light. It can be reflected through any surface, but the condition is that the size of the reflecting surface must be bigger than the wavelength of the sound wave. So the most important criteria for the reflection is that the size of the reflecting surface should be bigger than the wavelength of the sound wave. Now, very important term related to the reflection of sound waves is called echo. Now children, you are aware of this word. What do you mean by echo? You must have heard this, the repeated sound. When you are standing in a big hall or near a tall building, you hear a repeated sound after your original sound. That sound is called echo. So what is the definition of echo? The sound heard after reflection from a distant obstacle after the original sound has ceased is known as echo. Now the key words in definition are reflection, the sound heard. Heard and reflection are the key words because the sound should be audible to you. The sound heard, and after reflection when it is reaching your ears, then it is called as echo. Now children, an echo, everywhere you cannot hear an echo. You cannot hear while you are standing in a small room, then you will not hear the echo because there is one specific condition for the echo to be heard. The most important condition for hearing an echo is that an echo is heard only if the distance of the person producing the sound from a rigid obstacle or the reflector is long enough to allow the reflected sound to reach the person at least 0.1 second after the original sound is heard. So the echo is heard only when the next sound, the repeated sound is reaching your ears after 0.1 second. The sound which is coming before 0.1 second will not be called an echo. It will not be heard as a repeated sound. So the most important condition is that the minimum time must be 0.1 second. And the reason for this is that the sensation of sound persists in the ear for about 0.1 second. When I am speaking, my sound is remaining in my ear, is existing in my ear for 0.1 second. So other sound which is coming before 0.1 second, that is not called echo. The sound which will come after the 0.1 second, that is called an echo. So suppose this is an observer, a source of sound which is emitting a sound, and this is a rigid obstacle such as a cliff. Suppose the distance between the observer and the reflector is d, and v be the speed of sound in air or vacuum. Now time, you know, what is the formula for time? Time is supposed to be distance upon speed. Now see what will be the distance in this case. The sound is emitted by the observer, it touches the cliff and it returns back. So the total distance travelled by the sound is d plus d, that means 2d. So time will become 2d upon v, where v is the velocity of the sound in this medium, the air. So d becomes, you cross multiply, vt upon 2. Now the speed of sound is approximately 340 meter per second in air. So 340 multiplied by, and what is the condition for the echo to be heard? The minimum time should be 0.1 second. So you substitute 0.1 and divide by 2. So you will get 17 meter. Thus, to hear an echo distinctly, the reflecting surface in air should be at a minimum distance of 17 meter from the listener. This should be the minimum distance between the source and the reflector in air for the echo to be heard. Okay, children. If the distance is less than 17 meter, the reflected sound will reach the ears before the original sound dies, and so no echo will be heard. So the minimum distance should be 17 meter and the minimum time should be 0.1 second, but this is taken as one condition only. Now the remaining condition is that, see, first condition is that for the echo to be heard, that the minimum time for reaching the sounds must be 0.1 second, or minimum distance between the source and the reflector should be 17 meter. The second condition is that the size of the reflector must be large enough so that the sound is reflected back. That means it should be large enough as compared to the wavelength of sound wave. And the third condition is that the intensity of the sound should be such that the reflected sound reaching the ear is sufficiently loud to be audible. That means intensity should be sufficiently high, not very low. Then only the echo is heard. Now you can use this method of echo in many ways. You can use the method of echo to find the speed of sound also by using this formula. V equals to 2D upon T. For this, sound is produced from a place at a known distance D from a reflecting surface, and the time interval T in which the echo is heard, it is noted. So then substituting the values of D and T in this formula, V equals to 2D upon T, we get the velocity of the sound in meter per second. If the distance meter and the time is in second. Now echo find the application by using the ultrasonic waves. And you have already done what are ultrasonic waves? The frequency more than 20,000 Hertz. These waves are called ultrasonic waves, which are inaudible to human beings. But to certain animals like land animals as well as sea animals, these waves are audible. And why ultrasonic waves are only used? Because they have the three special properties. They travel uninhibited through a long distance. They can be confined to a narrow beam, and they are not easily absorbed in a medium. Thus, ultrasonic waves find a great use. Now, some more very important uses of echoes are as follows. Echoes are used by bats, dolphins, and fishermen to locate their prey by bats and dolphins, and to locate the fish, shoal of fish by the fishermen. And this method of locating the objects is known as sound ranging. Now, how do the bats, dolphins use the method of echo? Now, bats and dolphins have a much higher upper audible limit than human beings. Bats can produce and detect the sound of very high frequency up to 100 kilohertz. Now, children, you must know this, you are aware of the fact that bats can see in the dark. But this is only a myth. Bats cannot see. In fact, bats emit sounds of frequency above 100 kilohertz. And with the help of this, they are able to locate their prey. Now the bats fly with a speed much lower than the speed of sound. The sounds produced by the flying bats get reflected back from the obstacle in front of it. And by hearing the echo, the bats come to know, even in dark, the location of their obstacle. So they turn from their path and fly safely without colliding with it. And so this process of detecting the obstacle in the path is known as the sound ranging. Similarly, dolphins, they also emit ultrasonic waves, and they detect the enemy and obstacle by emitting these ultrasonic waves and hearing their echo. Similarly, a trawlerman, fisherman, they send ultrasonic pulses from a source, which is a very high frequency vibrator. they send ultrasonic waves into the sea and they receive the pulse reflected from the shoal of fish in a detector. Suppose there is a shoal of fish inside the sea. They send a pulse. So that pulse of ultrasonic wave is reflected back. Then they note down the time interval and substituting the value of t in this formula, they get the distance d between the sea level of the sea and the shoal of the fish. So they get to know the distance and they go to catch the fish. Now children, here the velocity is taken to be 1400 meter per second because the speed of sound is approximately 1400 meter per second in sea water. So substituting the values, they judge the distance between them and the shoal of fish. The next use of echo is in sonar. The full form of sonar is sound navigation and ranging. This method is mostly used to find the depth of the sea and this is called the echo depth sounding method. See, this is the ship. Here transmitter and receiver are attached to the lower end of the ship. Now ultrasonic waves are sent through the transmitter and they receive through the receiver. So they go and they strike the obstacle if there is an obstacle or the bed of the sea and they strike it and the ultrasonic waves are returned back. Now the time interval is noted in which these ultrasonics are received back and they are substituted in the formula d equals to Vt upon 2 where v is the velocity of the sound in sea water. So you will get d, the depth of the sea. Now the method of echo is also used in medical field. The echo method of ultrasonic waves is used for imaging the human organs such as liver, gallbladder, uterus, womb, etc. And this is called ultrasonography, and echocardiography is used to obtain the image of human heart. So children, this is all for today.